righty. Good morning, everybody. First of all, can people in the back in the stadium, can y'all hear me okay? Okay, great. Thank you for being here. Families, gentlemen, thanks for being a part of our 2021 cum laude induction ceremony. And what I want to do is just spend a few minutes explaining why we're here today. Under more normal circumstances, we're in the auditorium. This is usually done as an upper school assembly, but for obvious reasons, we've changed the format. And we've actually changed the format over the last couple of years because of the way cum laude induction works with the national organization. And so we're here today under slightly different circumstances, but for the same purpose, and that is to induct the cum laude, the members of the Cum Laude Society for Gilman for the class of 2021. And we're doing this. This is really the second installment of inductees. We had a less formal ceremony in the fall where about half of the group was inducted based on their academic performance in grades 9 through 11. And then now what we're doing is we're bringing in a second half of the cum laude class, which includes academic performance into senior year. And so what this group in front of us represents is, guys, the top 20% of your graduating class at Gilman. So first of all, let me be the first to offer you congratulations for reaching that achievement. I know based on life that some of you probably worked harder to earn these grades than others. Just like for some people it's easier to run faster, to paint well, or to play well than it is for others. But there's no denying for all of you up here, no matter how hard you work and how much you might have burned the midnight oil to do well in school, you're here because of a significant level of engagement in your classes. And in order to achieve the kind of GPAs that I could only dream of as a student, there's no way you didn't do that without being really, really engaged in your work and in your classes. And you're being here today as a reflection of that engagement. So I want to offer my congratulations to all of you right out of the gate. So well done, gentlemen. So Cum Laude Society, just to give you a little background too, because not everybody knows these things. The Cum Laude Society was founded in 1906, right up the road in Port Deposit, Maryland, actually. And it was established under a different name, simply to do, as I've already explained, to recognize scholastic achievement. And then in 1916, so it was founded in 1906, about 10 years later, the name was changed to Cum Laude, which means with distinction, which is certainly a fitting name for all of you. And so the Gilman became a member of the Cum Laude Society in 1952. So pretty much every year since then, we have inducted a group of graduates, of graduating seniors into cum laude. And so it's our purpose today to reaffirm our commitment to the purpose of that society, to recognize the distinction that you have earned through your academic pursuits. And I thought it'd also be worthwhile just to point out the motto of the Cum Laude Society. It's arete, dike, time. Three words that mean, arete means scholarly and moral excellence. Dike means justice in all things. And time means dignity with true worth and honor. All three of those sentiments, I think, are important to express here and for everybody to think about here. Scholarly and moral excellence, justice, and dignity. Certainly good values that we want to promote and hope that you take with you from Gilman, gentlemen. So that's why we're here. To the parents and loved ones in the back, congratulations to all of you. And guys, another thing that I'll say at the Awards Day ceremony later, I hope that you also recognize that your achievements are not yours alone. They are the product of a lot of support from a lot of people along the way, and I think that's also important to recognize and take with you. As we get into the program, I want to make one really important note, and it comes with an apology. We left one person out of the formal program, so Mason Roth, please insert him in between Rayleigh and Song, I guess. So Mason, I'm sorry that we left your name out, and glad that you are with us and we have everything else for you. We just left your name off the program. So apologize, and wanted to make sure that everybody knew that as we start. So from here, we will hear some music, and I hope I pronounced this right. This will be, it's Symphony Espagnole. It's the first movement by the composer Edouard Laude, and it's going to be performed by Mr. DeShoza and Peter Heasters. Peter, thank you for being with us, and Mr. DeShoza, thank you as well. Have the introduction of the speaker, and then we'll do the presentation of their certificates. So thanks again, everybody, for being here, and congratulations.
It is my pleasure as president of Gilman chapter of the Cum Laude Society to welcome you all. Our guest speaker, Ava Leas Booker, faculty, and those students who've earned membership in this national society that recognizes excellence in scholarship. This is a very special occasion in the Gilman year. We recognize the scholars gathered here, but also we thank those who have encouraged and set high standards for them. We would like to welcome our newly elected committee members, Patrick M. Hastings and Sarah J. Miller. We would also like to recognize our retiring committee members, Daphne C. McWilliams and James S.B. Spraggins. We thank them for their years of service and wish them well in their future endeavors. Our speaker. Today, Ms. Ava Leas Booker. Mrs. Booker is a seasoned trial appellate lawyer and serves on a number of leadership roles at McGuire Woods LLP, a leading international law firm. She is the chair of the firm's Diversity and Inclusion Committee, a member of its Diversity Action Council, and part of the firm's 7-member Associates Committee. A partner in the firm's Baltimore office, Ava leads the Baltimore litigation practice with 3 decades of first chair trial experience, representing businesses from a broad range of industries and complex commercial and civic litigation. Ava's dedication to providing excellence for clients is matched by her passion for mentoring young lawyers and serving the legal and civic communities of Baltimore, the state, and the nation. She serves on the boards of visitors of Duke University School of Law and the University of Maryland Francis Key Carey School of Law, and the boards of directors for Baltimore Symphony Orchestra and the Baltimore Society Institute. Of course, Ms. Leas Booker is a proud mother of Earl Thomas Booker, class of 2018. I'm sure she remembers being in the audience as Thomas that spring was sitting behind, we were inside, behind me on the stage. We are very fortunate that she could take time out of her demanding schedule to be with us today. Please join me in welcoming Ava Leas Booker. Thank you. Let me take my
Good morning, everybody. I am so delighted to be here, and I cannot wait to tell Thomas that I am doing this speech from the football field. I will see him later this week in California. Congratulations, young men, on this accomplishment. I know firsthand how hard each of you have worked. I was going to say to sit on this stage, but to sit on this field this morning. And I congratulate you for being a member, a newly inducted member of the Cum Laude Honor Society. As you've heard, I am a Gilman mom of an alumnus, Thomas Booker, who in 2018 sat where you sit today as part of his induction ceremony. Well, Thomas, as many of you know, is at Stanford now, heading into his senior year as a academically high-performing, what else do we expect from a Gilman guy, in economics and communications, and heading into his senior season with the Stanford football team as a team captain of that team and as a potential 2022 NFL draft prospect. As Thomas's dad, who is also a Gilman alumnus, and I know, Gilman men can walk and chew gum at the same time. In my other roles that you heard about this morning from Mr. Duncan, I serve as a partner and a commercial litigator and the national chair of my firm's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And I know from working with young people around the country about millennials, as we'll call them. And I'm going to get to Gen X in a minute, but millennials are unlike any other youth generation in living memory. They are more numerous, more affluent, and better educated and more ethnically diverse than any other generation in history. And we know from the Pew Research Center that young people in your age group have been carved out, and they're calling you Generation Z. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that carve out, but it matters little for purposes of today, at least for now, because Gen Z is very much like the millennial generation. Your views on social and policy issues are the same. You're just as racially and ethnically diverse as millennials are, and you may be on track to be the most well-educated generation, even more educated than millennials, in history. If there's any point of distinction between your generation and all the rest of us, it may be that you're something called digital natives. Do you guys know what that is? Yeah, I'm seeing nodding of the heads. It's likely, parents, that they have no memory of the world as it existed before internet or the smartphone. In short, when we say that these are the best and brightest generation in history, that is a fact, gentlemen, that you can take to heart, not just for bragging rights, but also because it empowers each and every one of you with the ability to make a difference in the world in a way that no other generation before you has been able to do. Now, before you go out, though, and conquer the world and change the world, there are just a few things that this baby boomer generation person would like to share with each of you and your families. My favorite author is Toni Morrison. She wrote the novel Beloved, which I'm sure many of you are. And in 1993, Toni Morrison was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for her entire body of work, well before any of you, I'm sure, were born. But I mention her today because in her Nobel Prize lecture, she used a parable in which an old, or perhaps we should say seasoned, but wise blind woman seeks to give advice to young people who taunt her blindness by asking her whether a bird that they have in their hand is alive or dead. In words far more eloquent than I can write, Toni Morrison used the bird as a metaphor for language. And while she chastised the young people for their mockery of the old woman and her difference, namely blindness, she also chided the old woman, who may have been a bit too quick to judge the question of these young people and dismiss it as the arrogance of youth. Toni Morrison suggested in her speech, and I quite agree, that sometimes older folks from my generation or your parents' generation, perhaps we should take another look at that question and view it perhaps as an inartful quest or cry for advice, enlightenment, guidance from an experienced, seasoned, and wise woman, or perhaps wiser generation. For my purposes this morning, though, I want to view the bird as potential. The potential that each of you has, that you're going to hear a lot about in the next couple of days, to leave this place better than you found it. And I use the bird and your potential to give you, a little motherly advice. You're going to get that today. or think of it as advice from a potential future employer, or think about it as someone who just has some experience and can share a little wisdom with you. And I draw my inspiration from the very words that Mr. Smythe spoke in Latin, but I will not do Latin. Excellence, justice, and honor, the principles that guide the Cum Laude Society and that will guide each and every one of you. First, excellence, gentlemen, is not just about your GPA. I think it's also about what you ask of yourselves and what you ask of others. Because it's excellence that fueled the creation of vaccines that allow all of us to be here today. Imagine, just imagine what's in store for the best and brightest when you bring excellence to bear on traveling to Mars, curing disease, addressing climate change, solving economic and social disparities. And then, of course, there's justice. Justice is not won just with speeches and marches and social media campaigns or even great courtroom argument and tactics. I know, and you will come to know, that it requires the daily hard work that challenges how we think and how our institutions operate. In other words, each of us has to work each day to level the playing field by ensuring that it is fair, all have equal access, and that we each protect each other's right to develop, compete, achieve, and to live. And last, honor. And here I think we have to view honor as a verb and not just as a noun. As you heard from Mr. Smythe, you've got to take a moment today to honor your parents and your teachers and your coaches and your mentors, those who have taken care of you, those who've laid a path on which you can now achieve. But we also have to learn to honor what is right, what is reasonable, what is fact, and what is fair. It is this kind of honor that will challenge you to be and do better than those who went before you. And honorees, I sure hope that you will take this summer to have some fun. Can I get a smile from you guys? Go on now. There you go, there you go. You've been through a lot this past year, and you've made a lot of sacrifices, and we all know it. But it's your time now. So I hope you're getting vaccinated. I hope you're taking the masks off where appropriate. And I hope you're hugging your family and your friends. And I hope you're getting out there safely to be with and among each other. So as you head off to college and ultimately to those positions of leadership that I know you're all headed to, but be it local, national, or even globally, I'm going to leave you with one last thought from my favorite author, Toni Morrison. As you enter into positions of trust and power, dream before you think. Congratulations to each of you, and as I say to my son on many a Saturday morning, go get after it. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much for those words for our scholars here before me. At this time, I would like to ask members inducted in the fall this year to please stand and be recognized. I will read your names. Please hold applause until I've read the entire list. So please stand up, those guys. Krishna Bambani, Jackson Donald Brenneman, Edward Everest Conover, Lucas Marshall Dett, Cole Christian Emery, Owen Zachary Grimm, Joseph Benson Harlan III, Charles David Nurnberger, Heath Spencer Otenesek, Maxwell Aiden Friedman Sternlich, and James Paget Zollinger. You can applaud. Please remain standing. Now the new members, please stand and join them as I read the charge. Your distinguished records at Gilman have earned your membership in the Cum Laude Society, a fellowship whose purpose is to recognize scholarly excellence. You have earned the commendation of this community, and with the honor of membership in this society which you accept today, you also accept the challenging responsibility of a scholar in today's world. Discharge that responsibility with intensity, with integrity, and with a generous spirit. In testimony of your admission to Cum Laude Society by the authority duly granted, I now will ask that members keep standing. The members inducted in the fall may sit, and Mr. Broadus will come up and read the names of the newly inducted members.
Thomas Charles Gammy. John Tucker Hebert. Tamalati Sampson Kolyosho. Antonio Mendez Trendler. Ian Michael Rayleigh. Mason Alexander Roth. Caleb William Sung. Noah Mayer Spoor. Benjamin Ellis Toohey. Aiden Caldwell Tidings. Matthew Peter Wills. Jiashu Yang. Eric Lee Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, the newly inducted members from the class of 2021. Would everyone please be seated? Ian Rayleigh and Mr. Chosa will now perform Jules Demersman's The Carnival of Venice. Following this performance, Mr. Foreman will provide a benediction, and Mr. Hubeck will make some closing remarks.
Could both of our musicians come out front, please? Both? He went back to class. Well, way to go. How about another round of applause? As a old musician, he was circular breathing. I don't know if you have any other musicians out there. That is tough. Circular breathing. He didn't take a breath. He took one breath and went right through all of those arpeggios. And that's amazing. On a reed instrument, too. That's, there you go. Good. How about another round? I'm just do what you're supposed to do. Thank you for those words of encouragement from Laude presenters here, and we really appreciate that. May we all stand for the benediction, and we'll have a seat for our closing remarks. Will you pray with me? As we bring this program to a close, let's give praise and honor to whom all blessings flow, who guides, protects, and assists us through each and every endeavor. Congratulations to these young men and their families for the honor that has been bestowed upon them. May they continue in the light of the school's motto. And for these blessings, may we all say, amen.
Gentlemen, I want to offer my congratulations for this award. Parents, congratulations to you. I know you've experienced and endured 4 years of hard work, certainly in the upper school, and you deserve credit for that as well. And gentlemen, I also want to make sure that you, at some point, recognize your classmates and your teachers who have been with you every step of the way, have encouraged you, have pushed you in different directions that maybe have been a little uncomfortable, but I think have made you stronger. And I hope you all realize that a numerical grade, one that gets you into cum laude, is certainly not how you identify. Mr. Raley certainly has proven that you can not only be a scholar but an incredible musician and also an athlete. So this is what makes Gilman special. All of you out in front of me have special talents. Beyond challenging yourself academically, but you do so with character and with humility and integrity, and we're very proud of you, so congratulations. We are going to, the boys, gentlemen, you have a lunch above on the terrace, and fortunately, parents, we will have to say goodbye. You can certainly talk to your sons as they make their way up to the terrace, but we want to thank you for being here, and we'll see everybody really soon.
Oh, thank you. You can practice it.